Hello friends, welcome back to our YouTube channel. So already we placed a video regarding the diversity of life form, friends. If you didn't watch the part 1 video, please go and watch. Only then you will able to know what I'm teaching you now. So many people will skip this particular unit number 9, that is diversity of life form. So please don't skip these kind of units because these are easy to study and highly scoreable. So in the part 1 we had studied starting from phylum Porifera, and we studied echinodermata. So I hope you all aware about this particular thing. Okay, so if you want about the notes for this particular thing, please watch the part 1 video. Okay, so in this part we are going to study about another 2 phylum, that is your Hemichordata and Chordata. So phylum Hemichordata, it is generally a marine in nature and it is having an organ system level of organization, and they are generally worm-like nature. Okay, and they are bilaterally symmetrical and they are triploblastic in nature. So they have ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. Next, they having a coelomate and they also have an open circulatory system. Okay, so then their fertilization is generally sexual. So another thing, when studying open circulatory system, you should know our molluscans and your arthropoda also having an open circulatory system. So generally they will ask which particular phylum, or they will ask a particular organism from this phylum, and they will ask what kind of system is there. So that next video I will upload what are the organisms will come under this particular phylum, so that it will be helpful for you to identify. Next, it is having a sexual fertilization and the sexes are separate, and it's having a sexual reproduction, and the fertilization is generally externally, and it is also follow a indirect development. And the example is this particular organism. So just these are giving you information. Okay, so next we'll go for this phylum Chordata. Phylum Chordata is also bilateral symmetrical, just like your Hemichordata, and it is streptoblastic and it is coelomates. Okay, and it is also have a organ system level of organization. So three particular thing will highly unique to Chordata. So we belong to Chordata. I hope you know that. First is notochord. Okay, so notochord is nothing but your vertebral column. Next is nerve cord, which is your spinal cord. Okay, so this vertebral column will originate from the mesoderm. Spinal cord will come from the ectoderm. And next, paired pharyngeal gill sheath, which is your ear in higher organism. Next, it is having a post-anal trail. And this post-anal trail is present in embryonic condition where it will be reduced in adult. So this is the introduction about phylum Chordata, friends. So we'll see the subdivision of this particular phylum. Okay, so Chordata is divided into 3 classes. One is Urochordata, Cephalochordata, Vertebrata. So Cephalochordata belongs that Lancet and Amphioxus. So in developmental biology, we will study about this particular thing. So Vertebrata is divided into 2, Agnatha and Ganastomata. So Agnatha, it lacks a jaw, and this particular thing will have the jaw. Okay, so one vertebra is classified into 2 types, friend. One, it lack jaw, and another it will have jaw. So this particular class belong your lampreys and your hagfish and your this particular organism, and it is an extinct organism, friends. Please note this Ostracoderms is a lack jaws and it is extinct in the Paleozoic era. Okay, and another one living fossil, that is Cyclosomata, also belongs to this lack jaws. Next is your jaws. So it is classified into 6 types: chondrichthyes, osteothys, amphibians, reptiles, aves, mammals. Okay, so we belong to this particular, we have jaws, and we also belong to vertebra, and our phylum is Chordata. So next thing you should study about the difference between these particular things. So first thing, it is having a opisthonephric. Okay, so this particular kidney is found in an amniotes. So amniotes will know your birds all are amniotic, whereas this particular thing is kidney is present in an amniotes. Okay, So it is ureotelic, that is it will excrete urea, and they are cold-blooded animal. And you will found this particular thing already we studied in our 12th standard, 10th standard, why you want to study, but give a revision. So CSIR is all about revising daily what you studied previously. So next thing is that it will have a separate sexes, okay, and the endoskeleton, it has a endoskeleton that is made up of cartilaginous, okay, and its skin is having a placoid skin, and the stomach is J-shaped in nature, and it has no lungs and it has no swim bladder, and the liver is filled only with the oil, and the heart is two-chambered heart. This is all about this chondrogens. Next particular thing is mesonephric, which is found in all your amniotic, okay. So it is amniotelic, which is ammonotelic, which it will excrete ammonia. Next, it is also cold-blooded animal, and the fertilization is external. So here it is internal fertilization. Here it is external fertilization, okay. So then it is having a swim bladder, which is also called your air bladder, and it is heart is also two-chambered. Next is your amphibia. So amphibia is also having a mesonephric. Your frogs, toads belong to amphibia, and it is ureotelic, which means it will excrete urea. Next it is cold-blooded animal, and fertilization is also external, okay. So egg will be laid and it will be fertilized from the sperm. Okay, so it have a separate sexes, and first amphibian were originated in the Devonian period, and their eyes is made up of eyelid, and they also have a tympanum as a ear. Okay, so the next is your reptiles. So previously we saw all will have a two-chamber heart, but reptile will have a three-chamber heart. But no, your crocodiles is also belong to this particular subphylum, and it is having a four-chamber heart. And the type of fertilization is that internal fertilization, and they are cold-blooded in nature, okay, and the sexes are separate, and they lay amniotic egg. So you all know in the egg, in the chick egg, if you see, you will have a particular layer amnion, and it have a peculiar role, okay, and the skin is made up of dry and cornified skin, and it is having two lungs, whereas your snake, which is also belong to this reptiles, will have only one snake, okay. So next is your Aves, which is birds. So birds have four-chamber heart, and they also lay a amniotic egg, and the fertilization is internal fertilization, okay. So next they are warm-blooded in nature. So previous four subphylum are cold-blooded, whereas Aves is warm-blooded, and the kidney is metanephric in nature, and they excrete uric acid. So have you seen bird or droppings? So droppings will have a white color layer, and it is a reason for uric acid, okay, and that's a reason why they are not employing birds dropping as a fertilizer. So if anyone has placed birds fertilizer as a birds or a dropping as a fertilizer, then the entire plant will get damaged because uric acid content will increase, okay. So next, the skin is made up dry, okay, and it has an oil which is also called as Perrine glands, okay, and the forelimbs is modified into wings, okay, and the forelimbs of birds is modified into wings, and they have a respiration is by lungs, and they don't have tooth, and they have a air cavities, since they follow pneumatic respiration. The last is mammalian, that is bee. They are amnioids, and they have a hair which is unique to our, okay, and they also have a mammary glands for milk production. And first two mammals originated during Jurassic period, and the age of mammals is called tertiary period, whereas first amphibian originate in the Devonian period. So likewise we can be able to interlink evolution also. Next, they are having four-chamber heart, they are warm-bedded. So your Aves and your mammalian are warm-bedded, and the sexes are separate. We have male and female, okay, and the fertilization is internal. So that's it for today's video, friends. I hope this video will be very much helpful. So we studied a big portion from diversity of life. From this particular video notes, that is part 1 and part 2 is enough for your CSIR exam point of view. So maybe we will see what are other particular topic, because there are many units in this particular unit number 9, friends. They will ask from ICUN. Okay, but we can't able to justify surely questions will be asked from this particular unit or not, but these things, that is phylum, what we studied, will really help you. Mostly 8 more question in your part C will be asked from this unit. So both videos will be really helpful, friends. If you like this video, please give a subscription button and give a like button. So thank you, friends. Thanks for watching this video. I'll meet you with another video.